But is there a principled reason why some other planet elsewhere in the universe with different chemical composition can't naturally have some sort of process that produces a very complicated structure abundantly?
Yes. So this is the thing. If I can convey it correctly, it will be eureka. And if I do it badly, you'll be like, no. So the way you think about it is like the principled reason. So let's just take this cup. This cup has a number of different parts, lots of different parts. Let's say it has 100 different parts. You would say, hey, Lee,
Really quickly
on
though,
this.
what do you mean by what are the different parts when you refer to a part? Like
Oh, I mean,
different.
so if it pixels, like, and things painting on here, and someone's did this bit and that bit. So basically, like I said, what objects? So I would clump together an object, join them together, and then put it in to the thing. So I would actually say a number of
So different
atoms.
molecules, like different types of molecules, like the black molecules, the whatever goes into ceramic,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're bonded together. Okay.
Almost, or you could think of it like a screen where I have pixels and I put in the pixels and color them as a color, whatever you want, right? It's just a series of controls. And so the number one resistance I felt with assembly theory at the beginning was people said, I don't believe there isn't a process that could produce a magic molecule with a high assembly. Great, I understand that. But let's go all the way down. Let's start with a mess of atoms. At the base, there's just a mess of atoms. And they're all simple. And so how do you get from simple atoms to a single object in abundance? Unless there's some design. And that is the confounder. That's what, like, I have argued with some of the most famous chemists on planet Earth over the last 5 years on this. And they'll say, oh, but what about this magic? And I'm like, but all the atoms. It's a bit like me saying to you, hey, Robinson, I would take you a whole load of atoms, marbles, ball bearings, whatever. I'm going to glue them together randomly and make an object that's complicated. But if I glue them together, I physically have to have information to glue them together. Unless I glue them together and I happen to make a cup. What is the probability that can happen? And so I think that this is the number one bias that everybody is confounded by in assembly theory. And I think that this is the reason why I'm excited, because I think it's interesting. I was going to say not wrong, but let's just say interesting. That's more humble. So, yeah. So what you're saying, oh, I've got this object, it appears on the planet, it's complicated. But I'm like, but if it's complicated, it needs to have had intention if you've got more than one copy. If it's complicated and there's just only one copy, it's a lightning strike in some sand and it gives you a beer glass. That's fine. I'm very happy to have a random beer glass. Well done, you're lucky. But no, if you have copy number and they are identical, then you know it's the product of evolution or technology. And I have been pushing this out there now for about 4 or 5 years, trying to get chemists to push back and give me examples where, because they would say, oh, let's imagine planet A, and the planet A has got all this different crust and chemicals and lightning and stuff, and basically, and we can make this molecule. But I'm like, well, where from? From these building blocks, from carbon, from atoms. How does it make molecule A? It will make molecule A, but molecule A to 1,000,000,000,000. It has to make molecule A in abundance. And what do you do to the process to bias that process to make A in abundance rather than everything else? And that's where everyone falls down.